What's up, guys? Today we have a clip of Jesse Lee Peterson destroying completely a transgender illegal immigrant.
In a public bathroom, a confused person can walk into any bathroom of choice now. Well, not really.
A confused person, what do you mean by that?
The ones that don't know if they're a man or a woman, they can now just walk into any bathroom of choice. Is that fair to people, to heterosexual people?
I would actually, again, rephrase my question or your question. When people are going to the bathroom, they know exactly what they're going to the bathroom
But
for.
is that fair to normal people that a man
What do you
or
mean
woman,
normal? What's normal? Well, maybe
heterosexual?
normal to you, maybe different to me.
Well, clearly.
Let me ask this way.
Oh
Now
my
that
God.
you're a transgender person, let's say you're walking down the road and you feel like a shower. And here's a shower at Target. You're walking past Target. Here's a shower opportunity for ladies. Would you feel comfortable going into a ladies' shower, taking your clothes off now and getting in a shower with women?
I feel very comfortable being myself anywhere I go.
So when you were a boy, did someone have to tell you that you were a boy, or did you know that on your own?
Pretty much. I
You
mean,
knew on your own?
no, pretty much I was told that I was supposed to, because I was, because I was born with certain genitalia, right? That I was supposed to do certain things as a boy.
And so
right?
how long did you grow how old did you become as a boy with all the boy body parts?
Well, again,
I mean, at what
We-
age did you switch?
well, again, I just want to sort of like give you a context, right? So that
Right.
we are able to understand
Okay.
how we as individuals, right, like start developing and how we start forming our own way of thinking.
Right.
However, our parents, right,
Right.
who are obviously the ones who are closest to us and who helps us, shape the way we think and the way we act and all of those things, they are influenced into the same beliefs. These are, again, social constructs that have been formulated.
Okay, I understand that. I understand you're saying that your parents decided whether you're going to be a boy or a girl.
Pretty much, because an innocent person,
But if you were born a boy, a male, they didn't make that decision. God made that decision because you became a boy inside your mother's womb.
Yes.
And so they had nothing to do with that, right?
But what I'm saying is
Am
that
I right about
even-
that, though?
Yes, but what I'm saying.
I know, but just stay with me on that. I am right that you were formed in your mother's womb where your parents had no decision whether you would be a boy or a girl.
Uh-huh.
Is that right?
I mean, anatomically, yes.
Okay, and then you popped out on your birthday and you were a boy. And they're like, wow, we have a son. So they didn't make that decision. God made that decision. Am I right?
I would say yes, nature.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you were growing up as a boy. How old were you before you decided, I don't like these parts, I'm going to take them off and put on a woman's parts? What age did that come about?
What I'm trying to explain to you
Just
is.
tell me that age, though.
Well, when I started my transition,
At
right,
what age?
I was about 19 years old.
And so what made you decide at 19, I don't like this, I'm going to take off my boy body parts, and I'm going to put on a woman's body part? What made you make that decision at 19?
Okay, so let me just say that I think there needs to be a little more education, right? Because,
Right,
to be
and I wanna understand
a
that.
trans woman in my case, right?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you want to remove or that you want to have some certain surgical procedures in order to be who you are,
Right.
right?
No, right. You didn't. When you first realized that when you first realized you wanted to be a woman.
Yeah, you say this, but the thing is, a lot of transgender people, a majority of them, they all get something done. Isn't it a little bit weird? You don't need them, but you all do it.
To remove the body parts wasn't the first thought, right?
Well, again, let me just.
When did you know you felt like a girl and not a boy?
That's what I was trying to explain to you, right? Because this is when you're young. That's sort of like you're innocent and you simply want to be, right?
Right.
You sort of like know that whatever people are telling you is not matching to what you have within your body and what you're supposed to be doing.
Meaning that you had the boy look and the boy body parts, but inwardly you felt like a girl.
Correct.
Correct. And so what did a girl feeling feel like?
I am gonna, in those expressions or those sort of like behaviors, right? I portrayed in a way that you're attracted to, different things that you're being told to be attracted to. For instance, in most cases, people like who are boys, for instance, they are influenced into playing with cars, with guns, with,
Right.
like what are supposed to be boy toys, right?
Yes.
But then you as an innocent child, you started sort of like be attracted to other things, right?
Like dolls and things.
Like dolls, specifically.
But did you feel like a girl?
I did.
And what does a girl feeling feel like?
I think obviously a girl, in my opinion, or the way I remember, is obviously having a sense of authenticity, right? But at the same time, want to have that authenticity, but not being able to have it because you are being told
Right.
that that's not you.
That's right. So what I want to know though, growing up as a little boy, you were feeling on the inside like a girl. You had the feelings of a girl, right? What was those feelings? Can you tell me what that felt like? What did it feel like? What does a girl feeling feel like inside of a boy?
Well, I mean, I think what I'm trying to explain to you is that, oftentimes we get this sense of confusion, right? Because we're feeling a certain way.
What did you feel like?
Well, it's hard to describe.
You can't describe what you felt like?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody can tell
how did you know
you.
you felt like a girl then if you can't describe what you felt like?
Again, I'm telling you that when you are a young, let's say 4 or 5 years old, right?
Right.
You are innocent. Your mind is not.
But as you get older though, you turn 7, you turn 12, you
Right.
turn 14.
Right.
Were you feeling like a girl at 14?
You feel that you're not matching what you feel inside.
And what were you feeling inside? That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out what make a man get to the
because
point where he...
it's hard to describe. I mean,
But how do you know you
in
felt
my
like
own personal, because you have to understand my background, right? So, and obviously, it don't seem like you did any kind of research to find out my story and where I come from, right?
You came from Mexico. Were you raised by your father, mother?
No,
Just your mother?
my mother, yes.
Obviously.
Know your father?
I met my father when I was 15.
Really? What was it like growing up without your father?
Well, then again, that's where, in my own personal life, you have to understand that for me, right, because of that sense of confusion and because of the sense of not having, a father figure, not having those things, right, I had to resort into using drugs when I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
He had to. Everything in this guy's life is everybody else's fault, never his own. It's incredible. It's really an innocent person.
For me, that was my refuge to sort of like try to make sense of who I was and also try to find the love that was lacking, right?
Because your father wasn't there, you felt the lack of love.
Many different things.
Right.
That was part of it, of course.
Okay. And so as a result, you ended up using drugs and things like that because of that empty feeling.
Yes. Yes.
And
now I understand that. At that time, I didn't.
Right,
But
I
yes.
understand. Right. And so you identified with your mother then. You took on her identity.
I took her identity in the sense that my mother is a very strong woman.
So do you believe that you become like what you resent? You take on the identity of the person that you resent. You become like what you resent.
For myself, I have come, again, because I've done a lot of work on myself, I have come to be who I am in the image of my own God. And so, whether, there's people who tells me that I look a lot like my mother.
You
There's
look just
people-
like her.
You seen pictures of my mom?
No, but I'm looking at you and I can imagine this is what your mother looked like. So do
But
you believe
people
that-
also tell me that I look like my father.
Do you believe that you become like what you resent? And so you resented your mother, she was your own identity, so you became like your mother.
Again, in certain ways,
Yeah.
probably. But I'm not going to say that I became who I resent, because I don't resent my mother anymore.
You don't anymore, but you did at the time. Could that be the reason that you started to feel like a woman as a boy, because you took on the woman's spirit or the woman's identity, which was your mother?
Okay, so I think for me, what would be helpful is, what is exactly that you want to get from me?
I'm trying
for me to come here.
Yeah, I'm trying to
and
understand, how guys become transgender people and girls
Okay,
become.
well-
and so I'm asking these things because I
Right.
want a better understanding, and my audience does too. So
Right. So then, I think it's important that we understand the way we ask the questions, right? Because, when you ask me if I become the person who I resent,
So before they call you Bambi, what was your name?
that I will not disclose.
You won't tell your boy name?
I will not.
Oh, okay. And so at 19, you decided to remove, just to be clear, you don't have anything exteriorly that says you're a boy. Everything about you says woman, right? You took everything off.
What do you see?
Well, I don't see everything, but the things that you don't have
But I
You
think
don't have
that's part of the problem, right?
you
That
don't have the penis thing, right?
what I'm trying
Do you
to
still
tell
have
you,
that?
and what I'm trying to explain to you, and I hope that you get at some point, is that because of the societal messages and societal constructs, if you could be as masculine as possible, then that means that you are a macho, that you are someone who...
The fact that you have a cock is not a social construct. What is wrong with these people? Like, you're that delusional and low IQ. Stop blaming other people for your mental problems. And I'm not against these people. I don't hate them. You guys need help. That's it.
portrays to be what society thinks is a man, right? And it's the same for a woman. Society has sort of like transformed for people to think that a vagina makes a woman.
So let me ask it this way. Have you had the complete...
That was extreme delusion. That was insane, guys. Let me know what you guys think.
I read that you had. Is that true?
Again, I think whether I have a vagina or have a penis that is 12 inches long, like, it doesn't matter. I think what is relevant to the conversation is, what type of education you want to send to your audience.
Like Bruce Jenner did. Bruce had...
Her name is Caitlyn.
Who?
Her name is Caitlyn Jenner.
Well, he had the complete physical surgery, but apparently he's still attracted to women. Are you attracted to women at all?
My sexual orientation, again, right? I think it's important that we understand what gender identity is and what is sexual orientation.
Good. It's you guys that are confused, not us. Okay? That's why you can't explain anything.
It seems to me that you do have a very important role. You have an audience that follows you. And so when you send this type of messages to your audience, this is the types of messages that confuse your audience.
Well, I'm only asking the questions. You're giving the message.
Well, then I think you need to reframe your questions.
I need to reframe it? What do you mean? Then
Your questions are not appropriate.
What do you mean?
You're asking me if I have had, sexual reassignment surgery. That is not appropriate.
You kind of look like you have. A boy don't grow.
But that's your own assumption, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're making judgments.
Do you think God created you this way, or it's because you resented your mother?
I think God has guided me through a very important process in which I am very grateful to.
Do you still have conflict within, or do you have perfect peace now?
I am going to say that I am not a fallen state. I am in a perfect state of mind.
I want to ask you about Donald Trump
Okay.
and Hillary Clinton. Who you voted for this time around?
as an undocumented person, I am not able to vote.
Oh, so you're here illegally?
Again, these are terms that are offensive to people.
How are you able to stay here illegally and be out in the open and people know you're here that way?
I am very privileged that I am able to be.
Well, this interview is a few years old, so hopefully this person got deported. If not, he should definitely get deported.
Please.
Amazing. Donald Trump, how do you feel about his immigration plans?
I want to live in a society that it is understanding, that it is, understanding of the differences of people. Not to say that, because I'm white, I have privilege, right? And those are Donald Trump's ideals.
Did he say that?
There is white supremacy.
Did Donald Trump say, because I'm white, I have privilege?
But you don't have to say it. If you understand history and the way institutions are formed and the way power is formed and is portrayed.
You call Bruce Jenner a white...
Her name is Caitlyn.
Her name is what?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay, Bruce Caitlyn Jenner.
Her name is not Bruce.
But anyway, you call
Caitlyn.
him a white supremacist.
It's not a him. Again,
because let me just
you
finish
need
the point.
to be educated for real. You really need to be educated.
But let me finish the
on
point because of
subject.
time. You call him a white supremacist for supporting Donald Trump. Can you explain that about
She
it?
does have white privilege.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
But then again,
What is white privilege?
Are you a journalist?
What is white privilege?
I think that's something that you should have already known.
Tell me in a few words or less, what is it? What is white privilege in your mind?
Oh my God. White privilege is really, it is about, it has to do with color, and it has to do with resources that people have sort of like inherited or have access to.
What does it feel like knowing that society would never accept transgender as a norm?
Again, what you think is a norm to you may be different what I think is a norm to me.
Yeah, enough of it. So, guys, let me know in the comments what you think of this extremely delusional person. Sometimes I ask myself, how can some adults be so delusional and stupid? But, what can you expect from an illegal immigrant man that thinks he's a woman? Yeah? But guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to. Christ is the King, and God bless.